Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. And today we are reviewing Hell's Kitchen, Season 23, Episode 15, entitled One Hell of a Ride. And it just aired where we are on the East Coast, kind of. And so we're reviewing it now. And I think both Marco and I are a little bit... I'm kind of in a bad mood based on certain things that have happened in the last 24 hours. But I still, I don't know. I'm kind of ambivalent on this episode, and I think Marco is too.
No, I didn't like it.
Oh, well, he's more than ambivalent.
I didn't like this episode.
I was surprised how they did this. Now, I haven't watched this in a while, but Marco said that they haven't done what they did tonight.
No, I don't think so. I haven't. I don't remember seeing this type of thing, and
I haven't seen this kind of thing either.
That's what I meant by saying this feels like an off season. It doesn't feel like a regular season. But I have a lot of reasons for not liking this episode. First off, I think it was a mistake after all getting rid of Whit. I think that she should have been in there over Hannah, because I think that the competition would have been a lot better. I mean, honestly, like, I'm really kind of, like, questioning the results, to be honest. Like, it didn't really feel real to me. I mean, they all made 5 dishes. Each of them only got judged by one person, which is kind of stupid, because it's like, this is a 5-course meal.
And there were no desserts either.
Yeah, but you would think that it would be like the same judge eating every single course of each meal so that they could get the full taste of the meal. But instead, it's just judges tasting each meal separately, like a different judge for each course. And I thought that was such a stupid idea.
Yeah, you don't eat your food that way.
I hated this episode. I hated it so badly. I don't know what they were thinking. It starts off, there's like, and I'm not going to spend very long talking about this episode because I really didn't enjoy it. And I didn't enjoy it from like the very beginning of the episode. They started off with like 20 minutes of sappy reality show filler. All the contestants' family comes to see them, kind of, or 2 family members per person come, and we get a little stuff with that, and hardly anything, though, and then...
And we didn't even know where they went. They just disappeared.
Yeah, they literally just disappeared, and we didn't see them again until the challenge.
The challenge, the end.
Yeah.
Like the last, 20 minutes?
Yeah, and then the chefs got to meet up with different sous chefs. And this is probably the most screen time that Michelle has had the whole season. And so they planned their 5-course meals with these sous chefs. And yeah, that lasted for like 2 seconds.
And I didn't know they were doing a meal. I thought they were just doing one dish because they didn't show anything. They did only, in fact...
Well, we'll get to that, Safi. You're jumping ahead.
Well,
and then they showed a brunch with the family members and Chef Gordon and the contestants. Again, reality show filler. And then they showed some kind of like a wardrobe fitting or wardrobe like purchase, like
something they've gotten a bunch of clothing
that
would fit all 3. And then they got to pick out what they wanted from the selections.
It kind of reminds me of back when I was in high school.
Outfit.
It kind of reminds me of in theater class, they had like this wardrobe room with like all these different wardrobe pieces and things just hanging all around the room. And just there was tons of shit. And that's what it reminded me of. And more reality show filler. It reminded me a lot of The Biggest Loser. You know, there's always an episode close to the end of a Biggest Loser season where they take the contestants home, they get to see their families, and then we get to see them like buy clothes and get a makeover. It's called the makeover episode, and it's always like my least favorite Biggest Loser episode. And then after that, they do this challenge, and the challenge sucked, and they didn't even film it very well or anything, and just I hated this episode. So
well, the challenge was they had to make 5 things, but we didn't see any of that. That's why I thought they were just making one.
I thought
had no idea.
They didn't even really say what they were doing. They just said they're gonna go cook their dishes now or something, and I thought they were just cooking one course and then they get judged and cook another course or something. I didn't know what was going on. So the fact that they cooked 5 whole dishes per person.
Look, remember, he gave them 60 minutes.
I guess so.
So they cooked all 5 of those things?
I guess so.
Complicated meats?
I guess so.
In 60 minutes?
I don't know.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That's why I thought they just cooked one dish. Now I know, I had something in my mind with the episode, and that's why, because, I don't know, I just can't believe it. Because I know, the title of the whole season, which I never knew until tonight, is Head Chefs Only. So, yes, they are, and I have talked about this, they're very experienced chefs. But a 5-course meal with, you're talking about, what did they have? Things like, they had chicken, they had,
Fish.
And steak or something,
Fish.
like ribeye.
Fish again. Meat.
And no dessert.
No dessert.
And the thing is, what we're trying to say is, what do you think would be best? Think about MasterChef. I know, these are head chefs only, which means they have more experience, they're professional, okay? But still, every single thing that we've watched, every single cooking competition, for years we've watched cooking competitions, just for fun, not just to review, for fun. They cooked a meal, and then they'll have like 3 chefs, and they would eat the whole meal. And in this thing, Marco's already talked about that. They had 5 things they cooked, which neither one of us expected that at all. And they brought in a different chef for each thing, so they don't get to taste the whole meal.
Yeah.
They just eat one thing.
Which I think is really bizarre, because when they planned out their meal, they weren't just planning out the separate dishes. Like, they were planning it out as a whole meal, and they were saying, like, yes, I think this works as an entire meal. But that's never even mentioned in this episode in terms of the judging. It's just like this game where a different chef comes in. Gordon didn't taste any of the food at all.
No, yeah, I know.
Gordon didn't taste a single morsel in deciding if Egypt or Hannah or Kyle would go to the finale. I think that is a fraud. I think that this episode should not have counted. And I'm not just saying that because Egypt is the one who got sent home. I'm saying that because it is genuinely a bad episode. Like, I don't care if Egypt got eliminated, like, in the first course, and, like, the other 2 just completely got scored for the rest of it, and, whatever. Like, I just care the fact that it sucked as an episode. It was a bad competition. This is the worst semifinal I have ever seen in Hell's Kitchen history. It was so lame. It was so lacking. And the only drama was just from, like, realizing, oh, no, they're going to let Hannah stay there, and Kyle is going to beat her because she is inferior competition to Egypt, and so Kyle is going to win the season. Basically, it was handed to Kyle.
But we didn't say this. I really don't think we did. When each chef graded each of the dishes, because they tasted, let's say, dish number 1. So the first chef comes out, he tastes each one of them, and he gives points. So for the most part, it was either 10 or 9. A couple times it was 8. And the 2 people that had the most points got to be in the finals. So that would mean there's the third person who had something less than the other 2 would be the one who's out. And I think Egypt only lost by 1 point.
Yeah, he did.
That was it. And the thing
But
is, that was so subjective. I got.
Yeah, and also
one person.
It was irritating. Safi just lost her pet puppy, so she's kind of upset already.
No, I haven't lost any pet puppy. It's
But no, I wanted to mention though the fact that I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, because I'm just so disappointed. Because I don't know. Well, I don't know what I was gonna say.
Just the point thing. Like I said, what chef can grade a whole? And what are you grading on? You're grading on individual.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say.
Or you're grading on a whole meal.
I know, and yeah, but I know what I was gonna say.
What?
When the judge awarded the final point, he awarded it with Gordon influencing him and saying, with this point, if Hannah gets one more point, then she gets to stay in the finale automatically. And so the judge was giving scores knowing that his final score would be influencing and letting Hannah stay and Egypt get sent home, or vice versa.
Oh, so he didn't know. None of them.
What?
The judges didn't know their point totals.
What?
The judges didn't know their point totals before giving them the score. That's what you're saying. I didn't even think about that.
In the last part, Gordon said, in order for Hannah to move on, she has to get a 10. If she doesn't get a 10, she's going home.
Yeah.
And so this judge made that decision to give her that score after Gordon had said that out loud.
And that's not
which was
right.
like, in my opinion, it was unfair. And it was unfair. It was like influencing, because it's like, well, he basically, and this shows that Gordon is really not a very good, I don't know how to say it, like, not a very good decision maker, because this is Hell's Kitchen. This is his show. And he let this other person decide who's going to move on to the finale.
And he didn't taste any of the food.
Yeah. So
it just blows my mind. I
don't like it.
It's been a weird 24 hours, and that's to top it off.
Yeah, Safi lost her pet ferret.
No, I didn't. I'm thinking about the plane crash.
She had a ferret named Roderick.
No, I didn't have any ferret. I've never had a ferret. Those things have teeth.
She had a ferret. She had a ferret named Roderick.
No, I've never had a ferret in my life. I do know somebody who's had pet ferrets.
Last night it starved to death, and Safi got really sad.
Last night there was a plane crash, and we know why it crashed. Okay?
Safi is sad because her pet hamster died.
I'm sad because members of the U.S. figure skating team died.
Safi is sad because her dog ate her homework.
Okay, well, we're just not going to talk.
Safi is sad,
and both of us are very disappointed. And just even talking about it,
she lost.
I wasn't even thinking about knowing the number of points that the person needed to get.
Yeah,
it's not right because he influenced.
But
it gave him more of the. What would you call it? The appearance.
Safi lost
influencing the person's decision to
Safi lost her pet Madagascar hissing cockroach.
Okay, Marco's full of shit.
Safi is sad. She's very upset because she lost her pet.
I'm disappointed.
Her pet leeches.
This is a weird semifinal. I just don't get it.
You know what I think is more interesting to talk about than this shitty episode? I think what is more interesting to talk about is the fact that there was a stewardess who said that she was on a plane with Chef Gordon, and it was only Chef Gordon, and she didn't know where the plane was going, and the plane landed at Area 51.
Marco,
And
you're making up.
no, I'm not.
A stewardess?
Yeah.
It's called flight attendant.
No, it's called a stewardess.
No, it is not. They're called flight attendants.
No,
It's been
fuck
like
that.
for decades.
Fuck that. It's
No.
a stewardess.
It's called. It's
The
for
stewardess said,
Marco,
yeah.
He's lying.
The
He's lying.
Safi, if it ain't
Marco,
broke,
there is
don't fix it.
There is no.
It's a stewardess.
Plane landing at.
There, it did
Area
in that
51.
area, and these men in black suits.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
true,
it's-
Safi.
no.
Safi, it is true.
No.
It is a viral video.
Yeah, this BS.
And Chef Gordon,
Yeah, I wonder who.
it is a viral
Jack
video.
Ramaswamy.
It's true. Gordon went to
Ugh.
Area 51. What was Chef Gordon doing at Area 51? Was he cooking food for the aliens? I think that is much more interesting to talk about than this trash semi-finale. I mean, this was a terrible semi-final. And then another thing I didn't like is the fact that, like, they did this whole challenge in front of this big group of people, in front of this whole crowd.
It was like the final thing.
Yeah, it was...
Final audience.
I really didn't like that at all. I didn't... It was so, like, cheap and old-fashioned and just... I hated it. I hated this episode. And it's not just because Egypt went home, which sucks because he deserved to win the season.
I was really... well, yeah, we thought several weeks ago that he would win because he is during the whole season. Now, this is when Chef Ramsay is eating the food. Wasn't there 2 times that Chef Ramsay thought his dishes were outstanding? Remember? And in this semifinal, like we said, Chef Ramsay didn't taste any of the food. And so I thought, what would happen if Hannah had been given a comparable point total to Egypt? And they were tied. And like Kyle's already gotten in, okay, so that's why I'm leaving him out. He's already in, so you've got to only pick one more person. So Kyle, but this is a what if, okay, because it didn't happen this way, but what if Kyle and Hannah had gotten the same points? Then what would have happened? Would Chef Ramsay have eaten the dishes to decide, the last dish to decide which one won, got in to be the other finalist? I mean, I don't know. But the fact that he didn't taste any of that food is just bizarre and mind-blowing.
Yeah, Gordon has responded to the Area 51 videos, and he says, and I quote, "You've done your due diligence. Let me tell you, sounds like you're working for the old Pentagon. Well done. But I'll be honest with you, you're getting close to the truth. You're getting close." So, see, Safi, he went to Area 51. That is so much more interesting than this bad episode of TV.
Yeah, it's just really disappointing.
What was Gordon doing
the
there?
two finalists are Hannah and Kyle.
Ew.
And I kind of decided, based on
And this, I thought
last episode,
Kyle is going to win.
Kyle's going to win.
But I thought what was really hilarious was throughout the episode, they cut to Whit in the audience.
Yeah, because see,
And
they have to pick a team for each chef to help them with this last challenge. Because what are they doing for this last challenge? Are they making a 5-course meal?
Yeah,
and
something
then
like
chef
that. Yeah,
and
something like
2 other
that.
people are
Well,
going to eat the food, or
I can't remember but I remember the aspect of like they each have a team of old prior contestants.
yeah, I've seen that before.
but
I have never seen it that many.
I can't remember, but I'm trying to finish what I was saying. So
Sorry.
they kept on cutting to Whit the whole episode,
Yeah.
and Whit just looked like they killed her family or something. Like she looked so mad, and then she got picked on Kyle's team, and she even made this like mean comment. She was like, Hannah's picking chefs based on who she's friends with. Kyle's picking chefs based on skill and experience or something, and I was like, God, like, but I was like, you know what? She was actually right. You know, Hannah, her team was complete trash except for Egypt. She had like the worst of the women's team of season 23. She had the red hair girl, the girl with the dyed hair, Amanda. I mean, that's basically like a death sentence right there. Like,
she picks Egypt, which he's been very professional.
Magali
the
Sahali.
entire time, and so, but then Egypt, what did he say? Something like, "I should have gotten it, not Hannah."
That was the trailer.
Or something. And
that was the trailer.
Would he really jeopardize her? I mean, if she doesn't get it, it's going to be on her own, not because of these other people. I mean, that's the way it should be. They're only helping her and doing whatever she wants them to do. But her expertise or her knowledge, her creativity, whatever they're going to judge on, or whether her food is good, how about that? That should all be on her. It shouldn't be somebody sabotaging their dishes because they're mad they didn't get they didn't get to be.
Well, I don't know why you're speculating about next episode because we're talking about this one. He didn't say that this episode. He said that in the trailer. So he said he says it next episode. So
I don't understand it because he really's been very professional.
Because like it was a shitty ass semifinal. Like Gordon didn't even make the decisions or anything, and you know I know that this is gonna sound mean too. I don't really care, but the final judge, he was a younger man. He's a younger man, Safi. He is a young man.
I don't know. I think appearances can be deceiving.
Hannah is a young woman, and
I don't know.
When he gave her score, it really seems to me that there is a 99.9% probability that he gave her that score because you know, Safi. You know.
Well,
because he finds her attractive. It's like the Joe type of thing to do. It
still wasn't a good thing.
You know, Joe from MasterChef. That's what Joe would do.
I don't think it was right but it was not completely his fault. Gordon is the one that did that.
In his mind, he was probably. In his mind, he probably thought Hannah's a 10, so her dish is a 10. That's what he probably thought.
That's
Safi,
really,
come on.
I don't know about that. That's stupid.
Safi, come on. But Safi,
like 10s. They're just.
It happens. But this is the type of thing that happens, Safi. It's like. It's like earlier on, you know, Egypt had an interaction with who he said was someone who's like his celebrity crush chef or celebrity chef crush, and she gave his dish like a 10, and I could feel that she had a crush on him as well. She probably had the hots for him as well. And so it just, to me, that's the vibe that I got. And I didn't feel like there was an objective judgment of these dishes and this meal.
I totally agree.
And I think that...
and the thing that Gordon influences the points by saying what he said, that's terrible.
He says if Hannah doesn't get a 10, she's going home. Oh, boy, I wonder what the judge is going to give her. A 1.
I think he should have given her the tie and then make Chef Ramsay eat their food.
Yeah, that would have been fine, but that still would have sucked.
Been better for me.
Yeah,
that would have been more tasteful because at least
that would have been more fair.
Some,
but no,
actually participation.
No,
in tasting the food since it's his show.
No, this guy, he said Hannah's a 10, so her dish is a 10.
Guy is. I don't know who any of those.
He's a guy. He's the guy, Safi. Remember Spy Kids 3 where they're going around looking for the guy? Remember that? Spy Kids 3?
I remember. I watched it.
Did you like Spy Kids 3, Safi? What was your favorite Spy Kid?
Spy Kids 3.
Oh.
I think I liked. I think I just liked one.
Oh. I like the second
I was
one.
going to say, I'm not sure the second one, is that the president?
That's the one. That's the one with Steve Buscemi and the pyramids and pirate skeletons and all sorts of dinosaurs and all sorts of shit.
I don't know.
I like Spy Kids 2 the best. I thought Spy Kids 1 was really good too. But
Spy 3 was very good at all.
Spy Kids 3 was a big letdown because like they really hyped it up and it really had a lot of pressure on it being like a lot better than the second one, which was already better than the first one.
Yeah.
But then it was so goofy and silly and childish that it actually like was a step backwards. Yeah. And see, this is how bad this episode is. It's like we'd rather talk about Spy Kids, which is
because the teenage girl.
Teenage girl.
She ended up being a teenage girl.
Carmen.
The last episode, she's married to this pop star, and they've been in Hallmark movies.
Carmen.
And I don't recognize her. She doesn't. Weird, she doesn't look the same.
Carmen.
But anyway, yeah, Carmen. Anyway,
Carmen.
So both of us did not like the episode.
No, I fucking hated
I'm really
it. I'm
upset about this semifinal.
I am upset as well, and I would give the episode an F. I didn't like it at all. I'm trying to think if there's anything I liked about it. Safi's devastated. Safi is devastated. Safi is devastated because her pet mouse died.
I wish he'd shut up, because everything he's saying is bullshit.
Last night.
Okay? It's just bullshit.
Safi is really sad.
67 human beings died last night.
Safi is sad because
where
her pet
flight tower was short-staffed.
Her pet armadillo died last night. Safi is sad because her pet kangaroo died last night.
It's time to rise up.
Safi thinks that Hannah needs to, that Egypt needs to rise up and overtake.
I'll tell you something. I
Egypt,
really don't think it was fair. I really think Egypt.
I think that Egypt needs to storm the casino. You know what I mean, Safi?
No,
like a certain,
Just don't say that stuff. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's what he needs to do and protest. He needs to be like, Chef Gordon, you taste my food, bitch. And you tell me if I don't deserve to be in the finale. Like, not some random guy who thinks that Hannah's a 10.
Well, basically, if you want to know the truth, based on what I saw...
Safi, just admit it.
I thought that,
admit it.
For the most part, I thought Kyle's food looked tastier.
Yeah, well, I gotta admit.
I didn't like the way Hannah's food looked.
Yeah, Hannah's didn't look good.
Everyone. I think there was one I might have liked. And Egypt's food...
Egypt's was boring.
I thought maybe one of his dishes was okay, but the rest wasn't that great.
Yeah, Egypt's...
So if you want to know the honest truth, that's what I think. But how would Chef Ramsay know?
Here's
he
something.
Didn't taste any of
here's
it.
something to say, too. The last thing I'll say is... The sous chef that Egypt worked with, she was a sous chef that we hadn't seen before. I don't even know who she is. It was like Keisha or something. And so her influence, I really think she should have reined him in because his dishes were boring as hell. And except for, I think maybe one of them sounded good, but like they were really boring. Kyle's dishes were the only ones that I would have actually wanted to eat myself.
They really look good. And I'm not into all that fancy extra stuff.
I kind of want Kyle to lose so that I could have him as my personal chef.
No, I think Marco thinks this too. Right now, Kyle's going to win.
Yeah.
And
I don't even care anymore, though. I don't even care because, like, I'm so disinterested. Like, I came to this season to see Egypt win the show, and now he's not going to win because a judge thought that Hannah was a 10 out of 10.
He's just saying that, but
it's true, Safi. It was very suspicious. It was very odd, and it was very weird.
That thing with the number and saying if Hannah doesn't get it, whatever, she's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And so that to me, that is like they talk about the referee fixing the games for the Chiefs, which is utter BS. Because, well, I'm not going to go into that. There's plenty of pundits to talk about that, and I don't need to do that. But the thing is, that is just like what people say what refs did for the Chiefs. But they did that for this. When, my God, Chef Ramsay is a Michelin chef. This is his show, and I think he should have tasted their foods, okay?
Yeah.
And to me,
I think that...
it's still subjective on his part, but it's his show.
I think that
Why
Gordon...
did he taste it too?
This is a hot take. I think that Gordon should have gotten some...
Marco's just not being serious.
I think
that okay?
I think that Gordon should have gotten some... I think that Gordon should have gotten some aliens to try the food from Area 51. Could you imagine extraterrestrial judges?
That is something because that would be a better thing. Have people come in there and judge who aren't affiliated with who don't know the chef.
Have aliens.
Who aren't affiliated with the restaurants.
Extraterrestrials.
And people coming in and taste the food and see what they thought.
Before the aliens...
They're the ones who have to pay for the food.
Before the aliens enter...
Go to the restaurant.
Before the aliens enter, they play the X-Files theme. Okay, everybody, I am Chef Gordon, and I am here to introduce my alien judges from Area 51. Here we have Bling Bling, and she is extraterrestrial from the planet Zordon. And she is here to try Egypt's appetizer. And it would be like, she wouldn't even have like a mouth, she'd have like some kind of like a suction thing, and she'd just suck up the food and be like, I don't know what this is, I would give it a 0. Like, that's what should have happened, because that would have been better. Like, this episode just sucked.
Okay, well, so we're in agreement with that, so...
Safi is just...
I'm still trying to think, I give it
Safi
an E or
is,
an F.
Well, while you're thinking about that...
I'll give it an F,
oh,
because
okay.
I'm really upset with Gordon Ramsay. I don't get it. It's his show. He's done it for 23 seasons, and why in the hell, H-E-double-L hockey sticks, didn't he taste the food? I mean, come on.
I think Hannah should have been really upset that she won, because she likes to check everything, like, what, 3 times or 4 times? Which one was it?
She taught me something
which
really valuable.
Which one was it? 3 or 4? Okay, well, she should have been upset that they didn't taste her food 4 times for each course. Because...
No, Marco, she should have been upset that Gordon Ramsay... They should all be upset.
I bet that
Gordon Ramsay didn't taste their food.
I bet that judge would have given her 10 points. I bet he would have given her 10 points 4 times because he was so biased. I didn't like that at all. I thought that was really retarded. What I
was afraid is they were going to get the judge that remember when they did the tableside service
the shithead.
He would get she would get the shitty judge who just completely judged her on I don't know what. I mean, if Kyle's the best one, then fine. But make it a little bit more...
fair.
Fair. And when you have your own show and you don't taste the food, really? As a like a second person? Or 3 people? And then, to me, I don't know if I just didn't pay attention properly or what. Which I always wonder because, like, we've been watching all these movies lately and... There's so much stuff that's omitted and not put into the scripts, and I mean, and here we go. I mean, they blatantly left out. I mean, I thought they were cooking one dish. They only had an hour, and they cooked. These were fancy dishes with tons of components,
and
they only got an hour to cook every single one of these.
Simple
dishes.
I think that the audience was robbed too, because I would have really liked to have heard Gordon's thoughts on the dishes and heard what he had to say. Like, did he disagree with the judges on certain things? Like, I would have.
Think they were he was too close to them?
I have no
to
idea.
Be,
I don't know.
Objective? It's still no matter what they do, it's still a subjective thing. I mean, Gordon Ramsay may not have ever said anything about the points, except he did, which was bad, and it's almost like cheating. He's still, the judge, the chef is still, it's subjective because he's looking at Hannah. He might think, oh, she's really good looking, like you said. And Egypt and Kyle are big.
Just because he thought she was attractive doesn't mean he would automatically give her a 10. But it's the fact that Gordon then dangled the fact that if he didn't give her a 10, she would be going home. And so to me, it's like a thing of like, oh, I don't want the woman I find attractive to be sent home. I don't want her to lose. So I mean,
probably going to lose because I think Kyle's going to get it.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. We both think Kyle's going to get it. His dishes, I mean, admittedly, although we didn't see them cook them all, admittedly, his food looked more appetizing. That's the way it looked to me.
I'm gonna rewatch this episode 4 times to figure out what the hell went on.
Well, I'm not, because I don't want to waste my life.
No, actually, I'm not, because I'm very upset that my pet stink bug died last night.
And Marco, better stop the lying.
Safi's really
something bad from somebody who's really bad.
Safi is really
pathological liar.
Guys, don't listen to Safi. She is really upset because her pet tarantula died last night.
No, I don't. I would never have a pet tarantula. My other son has a pet tarantula, and I think he still has one. And oh God, no, thank you. Anyway, that's what we thought of the episode.
What are your last words?
Happy. We both gave it an F.
Yeah.
I do not like this, how they did it at all. And I don't know if it was because they're all head chefs. I don't know if it's because Chef Ramsay. But see, the thing is, what's going to happen in the finale? If he didn't taste their food now,
I think he tastes it.
Is he going to taste it in the finale?
Hopefully.
I mean, really?
I don't know.
My God. So anyway, that's it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become one of our subscribers so you can bitch and rant and rave about food too.
Give Safi give Safi your comments on all of her pets that died. Like,
I didn't have any pet.
All of the pets that died.
I really wish Marco wouldn't say that because I think that's bad luck.
Her pet squirrel died last night, so she's really sad.
I didn't see Chucky today. I have a little squirrel. He's a baby, and he's red.
Give Safi your condolences.
Chucky. And he's so cute. And he's scared. And he comes in, he gets the food, and he runs away. But he's really pretty.
Safi is sad because her pet monkey died last night.
I don't have any pet monkey. We have a cat, and I hope he's okay because Marco's jinxing him. So anyway, that's it. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.